My Hero Academia. This is My Hero Academia, chapter 344, Stars. We start off with a little flashback. Basically, how did we get here scenario. As last time we left My Hero Academia, Deku was seemingly ambushed by All For One, but aha! It was a double cross! Bloody cross. So, all the heroes pulled up through this portal, and this is how we basically got there. The whole plan is to ostensibly use Aoyama and his family as bait in order to draw out All For One. And everybody's like, how are they going to do that? Well, we got to figure out how to make him feel safe making an appearance. So, Brian called it. It is Shinso.
Too easy.
Yeah.
It feels good to be right for once.
Oh my God. Out of all the predictions we've had on this show, the one that we struck gold on, this is a pretty good one to get.
Yeah, I was like, damn, Brian was spot on with that.
Mm-hmm. So good for you, Brian. We got
Onoma.
Yeah. Shinso pulls up and everybody's like, Shinso! And cue audience applause, I guess, like sitcom audience applause. He pulls up and he explains that I've been training off screen to improve my quirk. So now I could do crazy shit, He's basically able to brainwash Aoyama and his family to convince, to hide their motives, to make it so they're not lying to All Might. He won't be able to detect the lie.
I'm sorry, I can't help that, but which is what I called out.
Hey, I won't.
Brian introduced that, but I said that one in particular.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Did he use his modular, his voice thing to act like them, or did he just?
I don't think it mattered.
No, he brainwashed the family. Yeah. He brainwashed the family.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So everybody's like, yo, Shinso, that shit was crazy, son. And
it was explained really well, too. They was able to suss out that his truth quirk more likely has to do with detecting lies in people's voices than anything else.
Yeah.
They gambled on it and won.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. So basically, they also think about this whole scenario where how we're going to get all of the heroes there. We can't just have us lurking around. That's going to give us away, obviously. And that's when All Might's like, well, we have a plan for that as well. So basically they called in Monoma, also known as the Phantom Thief, which is a pretty cool, it's a pretty cool hero name. I know we've heard it before.
Pretty sick.
Yeah. Phantom Thief pulls up. And he's like, you want me to copy this guy's quirk and master it in just a few days?
Did we call this? Did we call this too? Or
we did call this.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I called this too?
Yeah.
Yeah, you may have called. Well,
you mentioned that he was there, and you was like, what if he copied his ability?
No, I mentioned that Monoma was there, and then Brian, I guess, filled in the blank.
Yeah.
I saw Monoma. I claimed something.
You did. You was the one that seen him, and I just assumed that was Kuroshimi.
Horikoshi just started, since I've been his number one fan since the start, he's just been sending me what's going to happen next chapter.
Yeah, Brian
he's like, here's a bone for your loyalty.
Brian gets the...
I'll give you something, because it ain't going to be quality.
You're such a fucking asshole.
Brian be getting the storyboards for his loyalty. Basically they convince Monoma to be like, hey man, you can do this, you can copy this quirk, just come on man, we're at the end of the series here. you got to do it at this point. And Monoma,
we're not going to give this time any more time to develop, so you're the next best option. And it's cool. It's one of those it's one of those times where it worked out.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I wanted to see him get some screen time. R.I.P. your favorite Class 1A characters that are... You know what? Let me hold on.
Hold off.
Hold on.
Hey,
yeah, let me
down. Settle down.
Slow down. All right? And park it, but then put it back in reverse.
Yeah.
Okay?
や。Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a.
We're cool. Are we cool?
'Cause 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 Hey, we're cool, and you know what? Me and Horikoshi is cool too. That's what's
Okay.
really important.
That's all. Yeah, that is what's important. Basically, everybody's like, Monoma is just like, ever since I was little, people said you'll never be a superhero with that quirk, and I'm like, who are you talking to?
Right? There was some real hating ass niggas. That's why you sound that way most of the time, huh?
Were you talking?
Was that your own family? Was that like his own siblings?
Were you talking to Josh back when you were a child?
I actually think that power was really sick.
It is. It's crazy.
But I guess the joke still registers, I guess.
Yeah. So, in any case, we get to see that Shinso brainwashes Aoyama's mom and then brainwashes Aoyama, and he gives him a cool little thumbs up, like, yeah, you've been brainwashed. And Monoma does the portal thing, and he gets to bask in the glory, like, haha, I did all this shit. This was all me, bah! In very cool Monoma fashion.
Hey.
I don't understand what happens in this little next panel here. I guess, like, is this the teleportation goop that Shigaraki is kind of trembling under?
Sure.
I guess.
Why not?
That's what I thought it was. But anyway, I guess he's not ready to fight yet, so he just calls Dabi to do something. And Dabi goes all Joker mode. And he's like, you ain't the boss of me, leader. And he immediately attacks Endeavor. But luckily, Todoroki also pulls up. And he's going to battle his brother. Excuse me. And
wait, I think I know what it is.
What?
I think it's the Dabi stuff.
What do you mean?
Remember, because fucking twice his quirk.
That's what I said last week. But
yeah, no, because remember his thing is like muddy. Like once it dies, it like goes into goop.
It could be. I mean,
I was thinking about that too.
It looks like it's probably kind of destabilizing a bit. It's a really powerful quirk, and
yeah. Hey,
Toga probably can't control it that well.
Hey, if that's the case, I called it.
I think that's what it is.
Hey.
But we don't find out this chapter for sure. As Todoroki's about to square off with his brother, they just deploy the traps, and all you see are the big. It looks like the evacuation huts that they built, actually. That I guess teleport folks from one area to another. You know what I mean? So they trap all the villains in these like huts, and then push them through the Kurogiri gates that Monoma is creating, and I guess individual one-on-one battles are on the horizon as this this chapter comes to a close. So
individual situations, we'll call it, because I don't think this all gonna be solo fights. I think it's gonna be like team ups and shit.
Yeah, that would be cool. But in any case, that was where the chapter ends. So let's get into thoughts. Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
All right, my RGC.
Whoa! Wait, Brian, is this your RGC?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also mine. Yeah!
Unified RGC! Unified RGC! Unified RGC!
Yeah, man, it was all about the ending for me. It got me really excited. What more can I say? Don't have any analytical thoughts. I really hope that this is what we want it to be, and I hope, if we get one chapter per situation, I hope there's a bunch of situations.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm happy. I'm excited.
Brian, what did you think?
I was especially happy with this chapter because
where are you, Brian? No,
we actually got shit right for the first time ever.
Yeah.
So it was nice to be right for a change. But I also didn't realize I enjoyed Monoma as much as I did until this moment. Because this moment was so fucking cool. It's like, but this is the thing though, is that this isn't the first time they've tried to get him to do some really important shit. Like, usually when it comes to like these really powerful quirks that that they need to get their hands of, Monoma is usually the first person they go to come and try to figure shit out, like how quirks work and stuff. And I think that's really fun. That's such an interesting concept for a character to literally be like, kind of like a quirk decryptor a little bit. Like he just comes in and he figures out how quirks work and then uses them for the heroes. I think that's really fucking sick, honestly.
Are you referring to the... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Ask.
No, just a quick question. Are you referring to the previous time with Monoma where he tried to copy Midoriya's quirk?
No, when he tried to copy Ares as well. Like, oh yeah, there was that too, where he tried to copy Midoriya too. So it's like every time he's gotten his hand on a quirk, like that he always finds a way to figure out how it ticks, or like a reason why he can't get into it either. Like he's a very intelligent person when it comes to quirks. And I like to see people from Class 1B shine, too. Like, it's always nice to see these guys, whenever they show up, do something cool. And Monoma is, like, constantly that guy for 1B.
Right.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree that Monoma, for lack of a better word, was the star of this chapter.
Sure.
Weirdly enough, what I got out of this chapter was something I wish I got out of Oda. You know, when we were talking about how, like, we wanted just, like, a quick little like backstory thing for Kid, and we never got that. And we got that a tiny bit from Monoma this chapter, where we didn't need to like his whole backstory because we understood that this little part is what is the core of his character. I will say though, I don't buy the whole like nobody thought that my powers would be cool as a superhero, and I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of not true, dude. Your quirk is kind of busted if you really think about it.
Yeah, that's an S-class quirk.
Yeah. Oh, you can have any quirk you want for a limited time, sure, but like, what kind of person? Who you talking to?
I feel like it would have been more interesting for Monoma for it to be more of a personality based like problem where it's like nobody thought that this quirk would be useful in his hands, you know? I feel like that would have been more interesting than people thinking that his quirk is dumb, even though it's literally actually good, no matter how we describe it in this world.
Yeah, that's a really good point. But I guess like this was a really cool moment for Monoma, and I think you're right. I think like a lot of this is helped by the fact that whenever they wanted somebody to, I guess like use a power that the other person couldn't currently use, they would go to Monoma, and you've seen little flashes of how they like to use them throughout the story. It is really cool whenever he's popped up because it's kind of the smart thing to do when you have somebody with that ability. So it's a very realistic thing that I appreciate. Also, Shinso, I mean, you know, although we did call it, he's a fan favorite for a reason. I think he's a great character. I do wish that we did get to see like his little training moments throughout the course of the series, just as like a nice little primer for this moment. But it is really cool to see him flex his stuff and ostensibly be a different person from when he started the series. Even, you know, being like, he's had a lot of character development that we didn't get to see. For better or for worse, and I do love where he's ended up. You know, he seems happier too.
It's also kind of an unofficial induction to 1A a little bit too. Yeah, that's what it feels like. They're like, he doesn't have his hero license, but fuck it, he's part of the class. Yeah,
like, he's like, what are we gonna do? He's basically the Shikamaru of this series. You know, the kid that like just made the Chunin exams, despite the fact that he didn't, in theory, do well. And it's cool to see those characters. Hopefully we get to see more from him as this battle progresses. I do think that this is also the Twice thing. It's not like easy to dispel now. I would be actually shocked if these were the real people. But we'll have to see how it goes, because we could also be underestimating how quickly Horikoshi is sprinting through this series. But
you know what it could be though? I think it's probably a combination of people. There could be the real people there, and then there are some specific people who they had Toga make clones of. Instead of it being like an entire army of clones, it's just specific people, like Shigaraki, you know? Because now I think about it, can Shigaraki use his quirk if it's with twice his quirk? Like, is that even possible?
No, I actually don't know, because I don't think Twice's quirk can necessarily replicate other people's quirks in their clone
I think
form.
it can.
Can it? I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I have to look back at My Villain Academia because that's where he used it. But if that's the case, I also don't think that like Toga would be able to use it to that degree as well, to be able to like use it at the same level of mastery that Twice did.
Yeah.
That would be a little bit too much
Which is why I
task.
think that Shigaraki, because they made it a point that Shigaraki was the one who had the puddle and not Dabi. Like, Dabi is out here fighting and all that shit, and he doesn't show any form of like puddle decay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
I feel like it's just a ploy. I think that like Shigaraki still hasn't fully recovered, but they needed to show his presence to like throw them off his scent.
Yeah, obviously. I think like, you know, they didn't build up that All For One is the new Aizen for no reason. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure Shigaraki isn't there.
Yeah, I agree. But overall, really good chapter. My favorite chapter of the week, honestly. And obviously for the other two as well. Very fun to read. Hopefully My Hero Academia could just keep this fast track going. Excited for more. Are we ready to move on, boys?
Yeah.
Then let's...
One more thing, actually, I didn't think about. All Might is looking really vulnerable right now.
Yeah.
This plan that they have in place leaves him with zero protection.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know if All Might is really like a target anymore because he has nothing that All For One wants.
He was prophesized to die a terrible death. So I doubt that they're just going to let him be out here commanding people from the sidelines.
Maybe.
Midoriya changed fate, though, didn't he?
That's true. Well, we'll find out.